Welcome everybody to the Esoteric Cosmos Live Show. It's Justin Brengia.
And Rosebud Kincaid.
And boy, oh boy, a lot to cover. UFO sightings we've had this week with our pair of night vision goggles. I want Rosebud to get into that in just a second, share what she's been seeing, and I'm going to share a little bit what I've been seeing and we've been seeing. It's just breathtaking, amazing. And then we're going to be talking about all sorts of different things. We're going to be talking about Stephen Grier's work with briefing, Obama and the head of the CIA about disclosure and, where disclosure is right now. So we're going to dig into all of that, plus a bunch of other stuff. So you'll want to stay tuned. This is a 60-minute show, so relax and let's have some fun. So, Rosebud, what's up?
Well, last night, Justin, you missed it because it happened so fast, but I ran into your room to get those night vision goggles with my naked eye. I'm on the second floor overlooking the lake, just a little feedback on where I see these things. And I was just sitting, meditating in my chair, and all of a sudden I started to see these flashes of light, and seemed like they were all going into one spot with my naked eye. So I ran in, Justin, give me the glasses, and sure enough, there was over a dozen of them, I would say at least, and they were all moving in fast, all different directions, but they wound up moving into this one spot where they disappeared. And it seemed like there was a bigger vehicle there, but it happened so fast. And then the clouds came in, and that's interesting because I had a feeling all those clouds came in to cover it. Almost like they picked up that I was picking them up, and instantly, it was a clear sky, and all of a sudden all the clouds came in. That might be just my imagination thinking that it was on purpose, because Justin, you did go down and later on to view in the evening.
Full of clouds.
Full of clouds.
Couldn't see one star.
And
really.
we do have a sort of a hazy kind of day today. But what I've noticed is they just like shoot into very quickly into a spot where they disappear or they come out of. So now that I'm observing, I see the spot that they're coming in and out of. There was a lot of lines in the sky too. It was just before the dawn, the dusk. In the evening, so it wasn't really that dark yet. So I almost looked like vector lines, but I don't know what to make out of it. I really don't. But if this is a wormhole or some kind of a thing where they travel and they can go in and out of, I think we found something right in our own backyard, that we're looking at in the sky.
Cool. And is this something you were looking at in the back, right?
In my backyard, yeah. So my porch, and I was just on the porch, and it was just so quick, but they were all moving, and there was planes in the sky, because there was an airport, Orlando International Airport, a few little airports, and I saw planes, but this was not that deep into space, and they weren't going... they usually follow the planes a certain pattern, and eventually you can see that they're either turning, or you see their light. Now I know to identify them. These were totally different, and almost like, and then all these flashes of light as they were going in and out of this thing, which is interesting. It wasn't lightning, but it was just flashes of light. When I had the night vision goggles on, it almost feels like somebody put the lights on.
And how many flashes, just to give them an idea, did you see that night?
Oh, gosh. It was really quick, but I would say, that's why I measured it to be about a dozen. And it seemed like each one that went in there was a flash of light, a flash of light, a flash of light.
So it's like they were entering or coming from that Stargate and just disappearing after that?
Yes. I think they were going into something... that away from us, that they were here. They were actually, because I could see them with my naked eye, almost like orbs. Remember I said I never saw the orbs before, but with the naked eye, that's what they sort of looked like, the orbs, from a distance. And I wanted to be sure it wasn't a plane, so that's when I grabbed the night vision goggles. And then I saw that they were all going into, it's almost like a tunnel or something, but as soon as I started observing, all they all sort of disappeared into this thing with the flashes of light, and all the clouds came in. Immediately covered the whole sky from my view, anyway, what I could see. And so I thought that was really interesting because the minute I got onto something, and I really had that feeling this was something different, and Justin was busy at the moment. He was going to come and join me, but he missed it all. And I thought, maybe he would catch some more in the evening when you went out to look.
Yeah, when I went out to look, it was completely covered in clouds. There were no stars to really look at or open sky, so didn't even give it a shot. There was no way you could really see through the clouds. So, but this week, there must have been at least 4 or 5 great clear skies where there wasn't a cloud in sight, to where, we've seen so much UFO activity, as many as 20 in a night. And I only look for about an hour, possibly 2 a night, depending upon, how tired I am or what I'm doing. But it is so interesting to be seeing them so consistently. Pretty much every day there's a clear sky. We see UFO activity, and it's not just 1, it's not just 2, but many of them. And as Rosebud mentioned with the wormholes or stargates, I believe the same thing. I see these flashes of light that resemble what a stargate would probably look like, and an orb of energy just flash randomly at random intervals. All different parts of the sky. There's a hot spot in the front, which I check out from my window every night. I see the flashing going on, and I see a lot of UFO activity around the flashing. So I'm pretty convinced we're probably looking at some sort of stargate, and it's right in front of us. So it's so intriguing and so interesting, this whole subject.
What I noticed is, when we are looking, Justin, this is what I noticed last night before the clouds came in, is when we see one, we'll see a few of them, and then we won't see any for a while. And then we'll see a few of them again. So it might be that times when these stargates open up, because I'm just starting to see patterns. I'm going to start keeping records and track of it. But early in the morning, like I said last week, when I'm throwing out the garbage and leaving in the morning, early in the morning, I do see with my naked eye now, when on a clear day, I can see that there are some activity out there. But I can't believe that there isn't a Stargate or something like that, because there's just so many of them, and they come in groups. So anybody who knows anything about Stargates, and do they open up at certain times, and do they come in and out in groups, like a terminal at the airport? What I saw was even like one, and this is what I sort of saw with my naked eye, one bigger one, and then a smaller one went to, I thought it was going to hit it, went into the bigger one from the distance, and I don't know if it just was behind it, and then they moved into this thing. So they might be collecting their little ships and
like the mothership.
Yeah, the mothership, because the one with the naked eye seemed like a bigger one than the other ones that I saw with the night vision. But the minute, it's almost like the observer and the observed, the minute I was observing, it seemed like all of a sudden it was like, hey, let's get the heck out of here, she's watching us or something. And that was my impression, and they all just took off. But,
wow, and that's interesting, because my most fascinating sighting of the week was what you just described. I seen a huge orb that looked to be close in the sky, very bright, very large. I just, chased it for like 2 minutes, following it in the sky, and then there was 3 smaller UFOs, 3 smaller orbs, and I could see this perfectly clear with the night vision goggles. We use 3rd generation PVS-7 night vision goggles, and basically I thought they were going to hit. I thought I was actually going to see my first UFO war, but I didn't see that. What I did see was the 3 little UFOs basically get attracted and sucked into the big mothership UFO, and I thought that was very fascinating to see and witness with my own eyes.
And you were even seeing them closer than I had seen them.
I seen them right outside the screen.
Right outside the screen, yeah. All the ones I've been able to see, but I see much better further away with my naked eye. I've seen them all much further away, deep into space. So this is all very fascinating.